All right, we're back today with our exciting third installment of our unit review for our unit test. Boys and girls, I hope this finds us well on our way to knowing exactly what to do with fractions and decimals. So let's start looking at ordering fractions. You can see here it says placing the fractions in order from least to greatest, or from greatest to least, is often hard to do. If you find yourself having trouble, draw a model for yourself. Well, just what do I mean by draw a model for ourselves? Well, right here it says, let's read the directions. It says order these from greatest to least. So I know the greatest is going to go here and the least is going to go here. So I'm looking for the greatest. Well, how can I tell that? Well, I know that I can draw a model, and let's look at what I can draw. I am going to change the color of it some so that we can see it a little easier. It's hard to see when it's so let's do this. We're going to do 10. So I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I just want to color through them, but first I'm going to do about the same size rectangle. Possibly that's a little bigger. Let's do same size there. Now, what I would do is I'm going to change out the color. Now I'm going to color 3/10. So 1, 2, 3. And over here I'm going to color 1/4. And over here I'm going to color 2/3. Well, it already looks to me like I have my answer on which one is more. I can tell that 2/3 is greater than the rest. So I am going to go ahead and write that 2/3 is the greatest. I'm just going to kind of okay, now 2/3. Now 1/4 and 3/10 look kind of close to me. So another strategy to use would be converting them to decimals. These are easy and we should know how to do this. So 3/10 is the same as 3 longs. And it would look like this as a decimal. Now 1/4 is the same as 1/4, which also, if you're handing me a quarter, then I'm going to have 25 cents. So now I'm looking at it and I think, well, I know the tenths is more than the hundredths, but 25 looks larger than 3. So this is always hard. So I'm going to put a 0 here because if we're talking about money, 3/10 is the same as 3 dimes. So there I can see that if I had money here, the higher amount would be 30 cents. So I can see that 3/10 is more than 1/4. Very effective strategy when having to order them. And I know that 1/4 is the least. Good job. Now let's talk about here. We've already drawn models. Here we can convert these to decimals, and I think it'll speed things up a little bit. It says here to order these from least to greatest. So we're going to start with the smallest. Now, I know that 5/5 is going to equal 1. And I know that because any number over itself always equals 1. Anytime you see the same number on top and bottom, it's 1. 1/3 is approximately, this is one of those that you had to memorize, 33 hundredths. And 3/4 is approximately 75 hundredths or 75 cents. So I can clearly see here which one's the least. 1/3 is going to start the roundup here, and then 3/4. And then we're going to end with 5/5. So that's all there is to ordering fractions that way. Very, very easy. When you convert to decimals or use your models, you can do it right away. Now, we're going to look at fractions on the number line. How can we tell which fractions correspond with which number? Now, we're going to take a shot at this number line and see if we can figure it out. And what really might be asked on a test would be something like, oh, look at A, B, and C. Which fraction does B represent? 1/2, 2/8, or 3/9, something like that. And then you would have to pick the right answer. So it's important for you to be able to figure this out without there being anything on the number line. Now, we're going to start, and I like to tell the kids that this is like stepping stones, and this is going to be our starting point, and we need to see how many it takes to get to 1. So if I'm stepping on stepping stones to get across the lake or across a soggy yard to the front door, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So really 1 here would represent 8 eighths. So let's count again, and I think I can see where C is right off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 eighths. Okay, and let's go ahead and do B. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 eighths. Now, then let's go ahead and do A. It's 1, 2. It's 2 eighths. Now I know equivalent fractions, this is not the smallest I can go. I know that 8 is divisible by 4. It is a multiple of 4. So let's see. How many times will 4 go into 4? Once. And 4 will go into 8 twice. So 4 eighths is equivalent to 1/2. And then here on A, my fraction bar didn't go. I know that 2 will go into 8. 8 is a multiple of 2. So I simply say 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 8 divided by 2 is 4. So there are 2 equivalent fractions. So you could actually say that this is 1/4, 1/2, 7 eighths, and 8 eighths. But you would not be wrong in saying that it's also 4 eighths or 2 eighths. So this is our fraction and decimal review. Thank you so much for being patient, boys and girls. I hope that you have enjoyed this a little bit more than just sitting and watching me in front of the room. If you have any questions, please be sure to ask your homeroom teacher. Thanks so much.